He's Wham, I'm the Jam, and we welcome you to 93.7 Red Light Radio. Good evening, Wham. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Jam?
I'm doing very, very good. Did you hear in this news, on this day, this fucking Republican? We talked about it before we went on the air on 93.7 or whatever the fuck the numbers were.
93.7 FM.
93.7 FM, or is it RM? Because we're in our own little
We'll
thing.
just go with RM. Sure, why not? 93.7 RM.
What does RM stand for?
Red Light Media. It's just
Man.
red light's one word. So
Red Media.
Red Media. Yeah, I think that might be
Media.
taken. No, Red Magic is taken.
Red Magic. That sounds nasty. That's disgusting.
It's a camera brand. So I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't want to know what Red Magic is recording. I'm going to be completely honest.
Oh, you know what? I mixed it up anyways. Let's just skip over that. Because it's Black Magic and I'm thinking Red Cam. So, yeah.
Let me get your opinion on something.
All right.
I'm not going to call you Wham for the whole fucking podcast.
I was going to stick to it.
Let me get your opinion on school lunches. How do you feel about school lunches?
Me in general, I was just okay with them. It was what I had to eat, so that's what I ate. And
How do you feel? How do you feel that we're giving these lazy, no good, leeching off the government, welfare ass kids free lunch? How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel?
Fine, because I was one of those kids.
Same. I got free lunch all throughout my school. All throughout my school years, I got free lunch.
I did for a little bit.
Never had to pay for a second. Didn't think twice about it because growing up, you're like, oh, this is normal. People have to pay for school lunch. How fucked up is it that even the well-off kids have to pay to eat at school? They have to pay to eat.
Oh, trust me, it's not even the well-off kids. I got taken off of free lunch for a while. Because my mom was married and their double income just disqualified me from that program. And they still couldn't afford to send me money for, lunch and shit because we weren't really that well off.
See, I don't even know how much school lunch was because I always had free lunch.
Dude, I think I may even be thinking reduced lunch because I know it was like $125 for reduced lunch. So I think it was like $250 or something like that. That's
still fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And even then, some of you, if you're on the younger side, would be like $250 for, some chocolate milk, a burger, and some grapes or whatever the fuck they're having. Which, by the way, disgusting ass combo.
Yeah.
You had to buy a water. Like the milk was free, but if you wanted a water or something,
buy water.
They were even chocolate milk with a burger.
And those dumbass Powerade vending machines that were overtly expensive. It was ridiculous.
But let me tell you, this senator, and I don't care to remember his name, I really don't, said that children, he was asked about free lunch. He's against free lunch in schools. So, what should be done about free lunch? What's his opinion on it? And he said that children should just go to work. He worked his way through high school because, free lunch is just a thing in high school. He worked his way through high school and he worked when he was 13. And his exact quote, before child labor laws, like that's a fucking bad thing.
Yeah, before those kids got pulled from the workforce. Yeah, okay.
In this guy's mind, a 10-year-old kid whose parents can't afford to pack him a lunch or pay for the lunch, just go to McDonald's, start flipping burgers, 10-year-old child. What are we talking about?
It appalls me what some of the older... This is why I'm like, I dislike that a lot of our politicians are of the older generation because, admittedly, they grew up in a different time. Much less time catering to the welfare of kids, but a different time. And it's just
free lunch even a divisive subject?
No.
like I feel my family's really Republican. 10 toes down. They don't give a fuck if they destroy the country. They're voting Republican. But if I bring up free lunch, they're going to be like, yeah, because I was on free lunch. Most of the kids in my family were on free lunch.
Yeah. What's the issue with free lunch? I've seen nothing.
Schools are already underfunded. Anyway, you want to just rip more? Oh, wait. Republicans don't think public education should be a thing. I know some people are going to be like, that's too broad, man. You're labeling. A lot of fucking Republicans say that school has gone woke. All the teachers are teaching our kids to be gay. They're not teaching them math. They're teaching them this critical race theory. The fuck is that? No.
Didn't that shit already get axed?
Critical race theory?
It was something to do with workforce shit that already got axed that Trump said he wouldn't do.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Crap. What's the... Oh my gosh. Workforce...
You got it.
Hiring minorities. DEI? Yes. That.
DEI. He was going to ask. Well, I'm not shocked. Everything in Project 2025, I believe DEI was a big part of that in saying, like, yeah, discrimination, it doesn't really happen. So, like, it doesn't need to be looked at.
Yeah.
The Art Rooney rule in the NFL is probably going to go bye-bye.
Art Rooney rule?
Yeah, the Art Rooney rule. You don't know what the Art Rooney rule is?
I do not.
Black people, black men, have been held out of head coaching positions in history because they were deemed, it's a quiet part, but they were deemed not smart enough to be a head coach. Kind of the same thing with the black quarterback. It took a long fucking time for there to be black quarterbacks in the NFL that weren't on a stupid short leash. I believe it took you had Jefferson Street, Joe Gilliam. You had a Broncos quarterback that was black. But it really took, I believe, until Warren Moon, where they're like, we'll let him play. We'll let him play quarterback. They can be good at it.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
See, I brought this up. There was a dude who was bitching 2 years ago when the Eagles and Chiefs met in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, it's the first time two black quarterbacks are playing each other in the Super Bowl. That's pretty cool. This guy's like, you had to make it about race. What the fuck is wrong? You had to make it about race. And he brought up the whole Morgan Freeman quote of to solve racism, just stop talking about it. Yeah, that's gonna you fucking idiot. You fucking idiot.
I don't think that's just gonna stop it, but sure.
Holy shit. My response, and I'm a lot better content creator. I responded to that video on TikTok. I'm a lot better content creator than I am now, or that I was back then. My only response to that would be, if you didn't care, because he was painting himself as I don't care. I don't care about your. If you don't care, you wouldn't have made a 3-minute video bitching about people being happy that two black quarterbacks are in the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Feel like he outed himself and then tried to issue a retraction.
Definitely.
And I don't think it worked.
The retraction should be deleting the video. Embarrassing.
The retraction should have been not recording the video in the first place. Much less taking the time to upload it online.
By the way, have you heard this whole thing about how the 90s were such a pleasant, euphoric utopia between races?
No.
Dude, that's because you're employed and aren't on TikTok. I get into TikTok rabbit holes, right?
Yeah.
And there's a consensus among white people that were in the 90s that just say that in the 90s, racism disappeared. Apparently, 1990 started, racism didn't come up until Obama was president. That's what these people think. Okay?
That's funny.
And this guy brought up a poll. He said 1994 CNN polled black people and said that the overwhelming majority of them said that racism doesn't affect their life. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe you're right. So I looked up CNN polls from that time. Couldn't find a 1994 one, but I found a 1996 one, and it said 46% of black people polled said racism wasn't an issue. 46% is not overwhelming majority.
Yeah, I looked it up just to see if anything like supports that statement that, racism wasn't prevalent in the 90s, and I see the exact opposite.
See, that's because it's not like a bunch of studies that were done, right? It's a group of white people that exists online that just talk about how race wasn't a thing in the 90s.
It's the denialism, because I even see that school segregation gradually increased in the 90s.
But just ignore all this. Ignore everything. Ignore everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rodney King! The riots around Rodney King happened in the middle of the 90s.
Yeah.
Did you not listen to any rap music in the 90s?
No.
Go listen to NWA's debut album. The fuck do they talk about? Holy shit. No, I said the N-word at a concert. That means race isn't a thing. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot.
It's just kind of like the I have black friends argument. That's what it feels like.
Dude. There was a rapper, and I reminded myself of this with the concert. There was a rapper that was doing his thing on stage, singing his music, and he slowly realized that 95% of the crowd was white. Dude, the camera was on his back, and you just saw him go.
The realization sets in. You're just like, damn, it's really like that, huh?
Oh, I was wondering why all these motherfuckers are off beat.
I was wondering why I was getting thrown off in the middle of the show.
I was wondering why I was hearing, good job, buddy. Great song, pal.
What? I can't continue that.
Come on, finish the sentence. Finish that song.
Yeah, I was going to, but then I lost it and I just gave up. That's
But see, and we talked a few sentences before we started recording, and I said that you'd have to get behind me, support me all the way, and this where this conversation is going to go.
Okay, I'm behind you. I'm here. I'm locked in. Got you.
See, everybody's talking about a revolution, okay? And again, this is the internet, online people talking about how they're eventually going to eat the rich, right? They've been talking about this for a decade, but it's going to happen.
Longer.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, well, like online,
yeah,
fucking 15-year-old losers.
Absolutely. That's r/anti-work.
These people, we're gonna eat the rich, right? We're gonna have we're gonna have ourselves a revolution. Okay.
All right.
Listen, you can't say that and be the same people that have a panic attack anytime they walk in near a gun store. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And you know I'm right. Dude,
yeah.
One of these people I've seen push this of like, we need change, we need action. He was in a movie and he was fucking up riding a horse until he had a panic attack on the ground. Shaky. I'm not laughing at him have a panic attack. I feel you, but how can you be, we need to rise up, we're going to start a revolution, and then you do something that's just, oh, I'm sorry, man, this is embarrassing to, what the fuck are you going to do in the middle of a fucking battlefield? You're going to go against the U.S. government? And oh my God, dude.
The duality of man, I tell you.
And listen, and you might want to put up some words right now, okay? Because this is gonna sound like a call to action.
Okay. Is it not? It's not.
This is gonna get a little dicey. All right.
Okay. We're just
this
gonna
is
put.
Not.
What word should I put down here? Just
this is
down
not
here.
a call to action. Somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere on the screen. Okay.
It'll be over here because our camera's flipped. I just realized that.
I don't want there to be a sequel to the American Revolution. Don't worry, right? The first movie was great, right?
Mm-hmm.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, all did their thing, right?
Yeah.
The sequel's just going to... I'm trying to make a movie joke and it's not landing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so fucking tired of hearing people saying, it's coming. Oh, the revolution is boiling. The Civil War, it's boiling. Do something! Holy fuck! I'm so tired of hearing about how everything's gonna pop off. And do! And you know what's really fucked up about this?
What?
These same people, and I'm not justifying January 6th. Might want to put up some more words.
I'm definitely not justifying that one. We're putting that one back down there.
I'm not justifying it, but these people, in their own twisted fucking way, had a problem with the government and took it up with the government. And you ridiculed them and wanted to toss them out of... And, oh my God.
And you were happy the FBI was tracking them down. And you're having the other side make ridiculous, I might add, arguments about why they were justified.
Which is absolutely justified, okay? But you can't say they're interrupting our democratic process. This isn't how we do things, guys. To, hey, we're going to kill every politician and every... What are you talking about? And let me tell you something. And I told this to my lady. Liberal guys don't have the fucking balls, dude. Don't have the fucking ball. There's a couple, but think of every liberal guy you know. Do you think he's about to pick up an AR-15? Do you think? No, he's not.
Every liberal guy I know doesn't even like guns. So...
There's a lot of us, me, right? I grew up around firearms. Mm-hmm. I know how to use a firearm. But most liberal men, and I'm about to get real stereotypical, drinking their fucking soy lattes.
Not all liberal men. We'll put that down here too. I just
Hashtag
keep
not
adding
all
notes.
Liberal men.
Yep.
But being serious, every fucking guy I see talking about we're going to start this revolution is some scrawny, mentally weak ass fucking dork.
Dude, I just want to say, like, okay, all these people, they definitely have a voice, but when it comes to not just speaking, but as well as acting, that's where it just goes out the window. They're more than happy, more than willing to say something and, you know, post it online or whatever the fuck you want to do with whatever your message is. But as soon as it comes to actually doing something, I've noticed that, as you were saying, nobody wants to do anything. It's not a call to action or anything, but like, if you want change, you have the numbers that you need, you know, literally all we have to do is vote.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of liberals that are just like, oh, we're fucked, I'm not voting anyways. If as many people as I know, if we just scale that to America, I'm pretty sure there's probably enough people out there to turn the tides of the vote, whichever way you want it to turn. It's just going out there and fucking doing it.
And listen, I'm not saying I hate the message. I don't. We're constantly being fucked over again and again and again because the government doesn't think that there can be a little fucking thing, right? The government thinks that if there is, they'll just wipe it out, whatever. But I'm just saying, when Luigi popped that fucking CEO, I heard nonstop, oh, this is the start. Oh, we're finally getting time. What has happened? Has anything happened? No.
All I'm seeing is I'm actually seeing him being sensationalized online, which, I mean, sure, but that's it.
Yeah, I saw Bill Burr say hashtag free Luigi on Conan, I think. I thought that was phenomenal. Thought that was great.
Didn't know that happened.
Yeah, Bill Burr. Dude, Bill Burr's rant about the whole thing was phenomenal. He said, I'm glad CEOs were scared because you saw everybody was taking down their information, not telling people where they were going.
I mean, that's a fair response, but also if you weren't fucking up, you'd have nothing to be scared for.
Dude, and again, it's not a call to action. But
it back over
I'm so tired of the talk. Pick up a fucking gun without having a panic attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, everybody talking about how there's going to be a revolution, we're going to get it done, has a panic attack when they have to talk to the fucking barista at goddamn, I was about to say Starbucks, but go to Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros is so much better.
And
The fucking, they go up to the window and they're like, can I get, and then they fucking get on Twitter and say, the revolution is coming. We're going to eat the rich. Oh, we're going to kill all of them.
I just have a hard time believing anything I see online with anything to do of that scenario, I guess. Because it's just, they're not going to do anything.
No.
I'll back you. Where you at?
And if this gets enough eyes, it might put a target on her back. I don't give a fuck. I will look up at you while you have me on my knees and I'll be like, yeah, there we go. You did it.
Good job.
And then I'll watch you go, I can't do it. Pussy.
That's right. Put some stank on that bitch.
Pussy.
Yes, sir.
Do it.
Now can I be done backing you again?
All right. Now that we're out of that, I endorse none of that. Yeah. Jackie he went mad for a second.
He went on a little rant about his actual true feelings, but we're going to take those as his stage feelings.
That was completely satire. Mm-hmm. I meant every single word, not.
None of what he said.
None of what I said.
None.
Dude, I'm really feeling productive, and this is a weird segue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I'm feeling real productive. I got the killdozer ready. I got the armory in the back. No.
All right.
You looked lost when I said killdozer.
No, I wasn't lost. I wasn't lost. I was more surprised because that came out of nowhere. I know what the killdozer is.
Dude, the killdozer, absolute respect. Dude was pissed off and just said, I'm taking this town with me.
Yeah. And he fucking did.
He said, fuck you. Fuck this town.
He said, you did me dirty. You dirt me dirty. Guess what? You're not going to have a building anymore.
But, I got the short done last night so I could have pretty much all day to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I say that so I could have all day and I don't have to worry about making content.
Yeah.
I don't know why my throat's fucking up right now. But what I did was, I did some chores around the house, but also I went outside. And I'm going to be completely honest with you all. My backyard sucks right now. And it's because my dogs, I will put them out there to, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if I leave the house and it's not like cold or wet or whatever, I'll put them out there and let them run around, while we're gone. But they have just recently picked up a habit of, how you say, property damage.
Oh.
Dude. And some of it is ridiculous. Like there was a chair and a desk out there. That chair has no legs anymore.
All right.
There's a hammer I found in the grass. Half the handle is gone.
Are they eating this stuff?
I hope not. I really hope not. Like, they're okay.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, I have my pit bull Messiah. He eats stuff, and when it doesn't digest, he shits it out. And he's shit out more than a few, what are the dryer sheets? Yeah.
Oh, I got a whole... We'll take a side changer. Take my backyard work, put it right here.
Okay.
We're going to talk about my dumbass Mastiff Black Lab mix Opie, okay?
All right.
Right there sleeping.
Yep.
The dumb fuck, okay? So he was having a bit of a flea problem, and we got him a flea collar. Well, in the middle of the night, he ate it. He laid down, wiggled it off himself, and ate it. For those of you who don't have dogs, not good.
Not good.
Not good
at all.
So I'm like, oh my God, dude. And not only did he eat it, but my lady had a therapist appointment in the morning. So we were waking up and getting ready to go to this appointment. So the last time he did this, we helped him throw it back up. Okay, because this wasn't the first time he ate a flea collar. This is the last time we ever got him a flea collar. But the first time he was able to throw it up. So for an hour, I was walking him around the backyard and letting him eat grass and do whatever to throw it up. I was checking his poop, whatever. Okay. Yeah. Didn't throw it up. And I was like, we got to go. Like, we got to go to this session, to this doctor's visit. I forgot why it was so important, but we took him with us. And I was walking him around the building while she was in the doctor's. Hours. Hour. Or not hours. Like an hour goes by. Nothing. So I'm like, I guess I gotta take him to a vet, because if he doesn't do that, you gotta take him to a vet. Yeah. Obviously. Well, I end up driving all over Murfreesboro and Smyrna. 2 vets denied me. Okay. Denied walk-in. Okay. So I finally took him to one that was accepting. And basically I stopped by and they said, oh, it's going to be like an hour wait.
Okay, yeah.
And by this time, this was all the way in Murfreesboro. My lady called me and said, hey, I'm done. What's the status? So I had to drive all the way back to Smyrna, pick her up, drive back to Murfreesboro, and we finally get in there, right? After an hour.
Yeah.
And she takes his temperature, looks me in the face, and says, oh, yeah, it should pass in a day.
Let me guess. Is the one you went to in Murfreesboro by, what's it, Old Time Pottery?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I went to go get my dog put down.
Dude.
Horrible day.
$45, by the way. So a full day, $45 out of my pocket, just for them to say, oh, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll just shit it out in a day. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's... Yeah, but I mean, hey, it's better to be safe than to be sorry.
Well, it's better than, needing him to throw up or give him pills or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, because I mean, we admittedly didn't continue the proper medical care for my dog, even though it wouldn't have mattered the way he went. He was 16, so he had a long life behind him. But yeah, that's where we went. And it was a horrible day because I had just gotten off of work from Amazon, actually. Horrible day.
See, the worst I've had to deal with, I've had dogs that I've had to give away or whatever. I'm still tore up about my dog Kuma. But Maybell had a bad ear infection. And dude, we tried so hard to do like the gentle parenting. Like, it's okay. Just lay down. We just had to pin her to the fucking couch.
Yeah.
And which isn't good because that makes her terrified of people touching her. Mm-hmm. But, dude, like,
I couldn't do any. It's so hard to give my dogs medicine now because the German Shepherd Khan, he's smart, and him and his brother Rocco will literally eat around like the medicine, like. Rocco, who is my aunt's dog, actually, had some sort of issue with his stomach, so he had to take medicine for it. Yeah. And I literally embedded the pill in a chicken tender. Why did this motherfucker eat the chicken tender and spit the pill out?
That's insane.
How do you, what?
See, all we got to do, honestly, is just wrap that bitch in peanut butter, and they're all over it.
See,
Maybell all over it.
We didn't have any on hand, which was what I was really looking for, but chicken was the next best option.
Yeah.
Man, what a time.
But grabbing my backyard stuff, putting it back. Right? Mm-hmm. So I need to pressure wash my driveway because for some reason they ignore the grass and shit on the driveway. And there's trash scattered in like the AC unit area and some of the grass area. And I got a lot of it picked up right now. I'm a piece of shit, by the way. I'm not going to deny that. Like, I've neglected this backyard for a while because of how bad it was getting. Don't do that.
It just gets worse.
It just gets worse, right?
Yeah.
So, but as I'm doing this, I'm feeling productive and I'm looking around and I just start getting project ideas in my head. Do you remember the layout of my backyard?
Yes.
Okay.
At the shed on the left, then you had that little pile next to it.
Yeah,
open
so
space.
like, to give a full layout, I was about to say, I'm not going to give a layout, but this podcast is big enough to put me in danger.
Yeah.
So,
and also, don't give your address out.
Right here, right outside this, wall is a porch.
Yep.
You walk down the steps of that porch. Mm-hmm. Left is the gate to go into the front yard. Right, rest. There is a red garage. Oh, well. Red garage. Next to it is where the majority of the yard is. The rest of it is just driveway, right?
Yeah.
Well, on the base of the porch is this little grass area that's in an L shape that wraps around the porch, right?
Yeah.
And I've been wanting forever to do something with that because it's just there for me to rip weeds out when I need to rip weeds out.
Yeah.
And I was like, making that a flower bed would be nice. So I'm thinking about making that a flower bed.
That'd be pretty cool.
I was also, have you been in the downstairs garage?
One time. I think actually like my second to last visit there.
Do you remember? I took you in the back garage. Did you go down to this garage?
No, I went down to that garage, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Do you remember the insulin hanging down from the ceiling?
Yep.
I've been thinking about that. And we're going to need pipe work done again because there's a leak. 2 leaks, actually. So I was thinking like...
Love it.
Putting a ceiling up there and insulating that and just kind of fixing up that garage.
I mean, I feel like it opened up a lot more opportunity for you if you like kind of finished it.
Yeah. The problem is that thing has not been touched in decades. Literal decades.
It looked like it.
Like 25 years, dude. Hasn't been touched.
Yeah.
The most, my lady and our roommates, they went down there and put a bunch of tarp so the insulin wasn't hanging down.
Yeah.
But now that tarp's hanging down. So like, and that garage door doesn't shut all the way. There's a lot of issues. Issues, right?
Yeah.
And if we don't block up that garage, the garage itself floods, which could flood the rest of the basement, which is phenomenal. But I've been thinking about doing that. And also, our AC unit is right behind this wall. And it's in a little field of rocks, of pebbles, and dead bush, whatever. And I've been thinking about scooping all that out, getting that dead bush out of there, redoing the rock border, and just filling that back up with pebbles. And I'm like, man, I'm feeling manly, I'm feeling masculine, testosterone flowing through my fucking veins.
There's nothing I'm going to do to this house because it's not my responsibility. So,
well, we have we want to get out of here. But realistically, we really have no plans on moving. Do you have any words about any of this?
If we want to take a step back and go back to dog destroying backyard here, I want to tell a story about my aunt's dog because I just remembered that he did that. Was also in part of the property damage game because he made a path through a fence, a chain link fence, I must say.
Nice.
Because her neighbor's dogs will go to their wooden fence and bark. So, of course, Rocco has to go bark back. And that turns into, I'm going to get to your ass. But he can't because there's 2 fences in the way. He got rid of one of them. And now she needs a new backyard fence. In a couple different areas.
See, that this happened 3 years ago, like a couple months into us moving into this place.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't destroying, but our neighbors, like right next to us, used to have this dog named Chase. Okay.
Yeah.
He would stay chained up on a tree with his little doghouse all day, all night, never went inside. Didn't like Opie. Okay. Every time I'd go outside with Opie, he'd just start barking. Opie got good at ignoring him. Okay.
My dogs would not do that.
Getting out, well, the first couple times he'd yeah. But enough times me going, quit, stop, just go to the bathroom.
Yep.
He got the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was out there with him one day, and that dog just freaked out, was freaking out, right?
Yeah.
Which eventually got to Opie, and he started barking. To which he wouldn't move. He would just bark at him. So I grabbed him by the collar with the leash, and I was leading him inside the house.
Yeah.
Now, the owner walked down the driveway and saw Chase just freaking out and me walking inside, and he was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Nothing. I'm just, taking my dog back inside." Took the dog inside, thought nothing of it. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm driving home with my lady. Maybe a day later, I get a call from my landlord. Hello? Yeah, your neighbor said that your dog attacked their dog. Excuse me? He said, yeah, your neighbor said that your dog hopped the fence, attacked their dog, and yeah, I have a picture of a bitten ear from this dog. And I was like, no, my dog did not attack. What happened was they barked at each other, and he walked into the backyard while I was taking Opie inside. And she was like, well, they're saying he attacked him, and I have a picture, so. And in my head, I was like, if Opie attacked that dog, you're telling me that only an ear, only a piece of the ear.
They say you're mastiff Opie.
A. B. That dog stays chained up to that tree 24/7. That ear could be anything.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's my word against theirs. There's a picture. They're saying this is what happened. So I was just like, I'll just take Opie out in the front yard, and I won't go back there. They won't mess with each other.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, cool. Hung up the phone.
It's a good way for me to hate you really fast.
Oh, and that wasn't like the last time they would bitch about our dog. He would poop in the front yard, and we were lazy about picking up the poop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they would say that their like little chihuahuas would just run up and down it and roll in it and whatever. And they would call our landlord and tell us this. And it got to a point where this was our previous landlord, where the landlord was like, shut up.
Literally. Like, okay, you can't go in the backyard because your dog fucking hates ours, and you wanted to lie and say he bit your dog. Okay, so we take our dogs out to the front yard. Why are your other dogs going out to the front yard too? Take them out to the back. Your dog should be used to that, shouldn't it? It's your dog. It's your dogs.
Why do you have two dogs inside and one dog that...
Outside, exactly.
And they don't even hang out with that dog.
Like, I get outside dogs are a thing, but like, you have apparently multiple dogs.
Same family, by the way, has about 15 cats that are just outside.
Oh, is that who those cats belong to?
Yeah. Dude, I went downstairs, opened my garage to check that leak, right? Mm-hmm. And there's 3 fucking cats chilling on the couch.
Yeah, see, irresponsible
Opie and Mabel have chased the couple
me.
into the tree. And I've had to get on them of like, dude, if they find a dead cat, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't even know if it would be. The cats in your yard, they're not taking control of them. Like, it's negligence.
And it's like, I get having a group of cats on like a farm, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, funny enough, He told a story about how he had like rats eat through his engine of his truck.
Sounds about right.
So he had to get a bunch of cats on the farm. I get that. We're in a duplex right next to a suburb. You need fucking that many cats that you don't pay attention to? Which, by the way, I think like 2 of them are pregnant.
Because, I was going to say, don't feed, because doesn't your wife feed some of those cats?
She has.
Yeah.
And she has had to convince herself not to accept ownership. We have a black cat named John because all of them are like brown and white, and then there's just a black cat. So we think he's the bastard. So I called him John. Jon Snow.
Okay.
Game of Thrones.
Yes.
By the way, our next dog, close your ears, Opie and Maybell. We're thinking about getting an English Bulldog. Well, far down the line. We're not getting any animals. You know, we love them to death.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not getting a third dog. No. Fuck no.
Yeah, we learned really quickly in our house. We went from one, and then we got another. The first one died, and then we got another. So now we have 2 dogs, and it's a lot.
See, the thing is, we are, like, we've discussed, you know, what will happen when, you know, Opie passes away or Maybell passes away or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we aren't going to have a dog for a while. Like, I know there's some people. There's one person I heard, he had a husky. The husky died, and a day later he had another husky. I don't feel right about that.
My mom kind of did the same thing with our German Shepherd, except she had always wanted another dog, and her way of, I guess, coping, because we talked about this a little afterwards, but I'm going to put words in her mouth. So don't entirely remember how this conversation went, but it was along the lines of, we knew one was going to go, and she wasn't prepared to part with him, so we got another dog. To keep him company for a while, you know, while he was still with us, and, you know, to have another dog.
See, no shade, but that seems unhealthy.
It does. I'd agreed. I think I had said something along those lines, yes.
It's just, right now, every time we see a big black dog, we see Opie. We're like, oh, that looks like Opie. So I can only imagine if Opie passed away and we got even just a black lab, like he's got the mastiff in him, but just a black lab, that wouldn't be fair. And because we would just think of Opie.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I had a West Highland White Terrier, and then we went from him to a German Shepherd and a Pit Bull. So we kind of strayed away from the same type of dog. So I wouldn't like to think that, because I was really hurt by my dog passing. So yeah.
You see, one of the things my lady is most passionate about in this life is pit bulls. She loves pit bulls to death. And when I told her there's a whole segment of people and there's a whole movement to make pit bulls go extinct,
which is wild,
she was like, that little Thomas the Train quote I mentioned in the podcast, she said exactly. She was like, why don't we just kill these fucking people? She loves pit bulls to death.
Tell her to go to the Picks and Pets chat on the Discord, because I'm pretty sure I've got some of mine in there. She wants to see him again.
Dude, if you want to see some absolutely gorgeous pit bulls, there's an Instagram page. It's called XXL Designer Pit Bulls. Dude, beautiful pits.
I'm gonna look them up.
I love pit bulls. I think one of the dogs I want to own in my lifetime is a golden retriever. But
I think one of the dogs. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
All right. One of the dogs I want to own eventually is a husky, but I also know that huskies like to talk, and so does my pit bull currently. So I don't know if I'm ready for that.
My lady loves watching the videos of huskies talking.
It's so hilarious, but I know I'd be so annoyed.
Yeah, no, I tell her all the time, because she was like, she wanted a basset hound, and she ignored all the facts that basset hounds are hard-headed, basset hounds are loud. She was like, no, I want a basset hound. And now that we have Maybell, every day, Maybell's such a shithead. Oh my God. So She watches those husky talking videos where it's like, oh no, it's time for bed.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you think that's cute in a 10-second TikTok.
In a from the third person point of view.
But when you are trying to cook, when you are trying to read, when you are trying to do whatever, and you just, she's going to want to fucking kill it.
Yeah.
There's a Chinese restaurant right down the street. She's going to sell them off.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up, man.
That's fucked up.
It's a little fucked up, yeah. But I mean, I get it. It's funny to look at, and I'm like, man, what would it be like? But also, I know myself, and like you see my messages in the Discord about my job.
Yeah.
That would be the same thing with the dog if I were to get it right now.
Dude, I imagined you like having the dumbass day at work again. You're stressed out, and you come home and just that husky just blaring. Yeah, and I just imagine you going, ah! Headphone warning. Probably should have said that.
Yeah, I'll lower the volume for him. But yeah, no. I mean, I've already had a few moments like that at work, not to that complete degree, but it's just like mother, and then I go on about my day for a solid couple hours before getting irritated again.
Yeah. See, our dogs are okay at being stress balls. Opie's not good at cuddling, which is, dude, oh my God, let me tell you about this fucking, oh my God, the most aggravating thing he does, okay?
All right.
He's gotten good at whining, okay? And when I say that, when he used to whine, like even a year or two ago, it would turn into a bark, okay? But literally, before we started recording, me and her were in bed watching a show, and he was laying down, staring at a wall, just, just, oh my God. And
my aunt's dog Rocco, to bring him back up again, he's the whiner of the family. If he's excited, if he wants something, he'll just whine.
Yeah. But no, he will hop up in the bed and he likes to cuddle, okay?
Mm-hmm. His version.
And some people, by the way, say, don't let your dogs in the bed, don't cuddle with your dogs, don't pet. Shut up. Okay. But what he does is he'll put his head against yours and then he'll lay his entire big ass self on you and then he'll slip down next to you and then he will make his way horizontal and then roll all the way down the bed. And then 20 minutes later, he'll start whining because you're not petting him. What?
So let me tell you, okay, Messiah, the pit bull, he's a big baby. Like, if he gets onto my bed when I'm visiting home, which I will be like in the next couple days, he jumps in the bed and he'll shove his entire body. Now keep in mind, he's 2 years old, I think. Yeah. Running on 3. He's not small or light, but he will use whatever he can. And my scenario was the wall, puts his feet on the walls and shoves himself underneath me. And I'm like, dude, get down, like get out. And he'll just wiggle more to get under there. I'm just like, dude, you're too big for this. Yeah. We can't keep doing that. No.
See, I always say that Opie is way too big to be held. Opie is way too big to be in people's lap. I'll be telling my lady this, and I turn, and she's just, he's not too big, pulling him into her lap, just curling him up. And I'm like, he doesn't have the awareness to know how big he is because you treat him like this.
Yep. Like, I've trained my grandparents' Chihuahua to sit on my shoulder, and that's like the only dog that I will constantly pick up. Every other dog in my family thinks they're small, and that includes my uncles gigantic pit bulls who were much bigger than my own.
See, when we're in the living room, I've tried to teach him, if I'm on the couch, I have no problem with you laying down and putting some of your body on me. I'll rub your stomach or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if we're on that chair, you know, that brown chair in the living room?
Yeah.
You're not getting up here. You're not. But if my lady's sitting in there,
oh, he's up there.
The Honorable Queen Ivy, if she's sitting in there, oh my God, she'll be, come here. And he'll hop up in her lap.
She put the idea in his head that he's small enough for that. And but nobody else thinks so.
You mentioned digging underneath you. Maybelle, especially when she was like younger, I would lay down and she would crawl up to me and she would, like, I'd be laying like this and she'd put her head right there and just under my arm, just.
I mean, my grandparents, Chihuahua, her name is Coco. She's a heat thief? I think that's the phrase. Okay. Wherever you are, if you have a crevice, like, say, for example, we're sitting in for example, your brown chair, something similar to that. Sitting there, she will jump up and she'll find her way into my thigh and she'll like sit in between the thigh and the chair and she'll kind of just squeeze in there and like huddle for warmth. And several different ways of doing that. I woke up one time after like spending the night when I was younger. Woke up one time and she was in my bed under the covers, sitting underneath my kneecap. And I was just like, why are you right there?
Yeah. Dude, I used to have a cat when I was little named Shadow.
Nice.
And Shadow, when I first got my own room, right? I grew up in a house full of brothers. Slept in one room for a lot of the time. There was a year where we shared the same bed. 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, or 5 of us in one bed, right?
All right.
But I finally got my own room, and I was terrified. I was scared, right? But we had a cat named Shadow, and I was happy because he'd come and chill with me. Now, it would get annoying because I'd be laying on my back and he would crawl up on my chest and I'd pet him, right?
Yeah.
But of course, he'd start getting tired. So I'd stop petting him and I'd start to close my eyes and I'd just feel his claws. Pulling the covers down. And dude, looking up, and this was a white cat with a black face. Looking up and seeing that while feeling claws on your chin, that scared the shit out of me. But usually what happened, usually what would happen is I'd pick up the covers and he'd kind of like make his way next to me and I'd fall asleep that way.
That's nice.
But
that's real nice.
It's getting a little late. It's time to introduce this last little segment.
Yes.
And we're going to call this, what are we going to call this? Just Red Light Advice, working on the title. That's the placeholder.
Something.
Listen, this is where we go through Reddit. We find a little person, little cheeky little lad, a little lady, a little someone in between, needing some advice. And we'll read it out. We'll give the advice. And maybe you yourself can take this advice into your own lives. Isn't that right, Z?
That's correct. That's correct. We'll at least try.
All right. Z has the story.
All right. We're going to let you pick which one. 1 or 2?
1.
1. Okay. This is the little more risky one. Okay.
Ooh.
So this is from r/relationship advice because that's the first advice subreddit I could find reliably. So the title here is My Girlfriend, F25, received a dick pic from a friend and she's underestimating the matter. I, male 29, asked her to cut every contact with this guy.
Yeah.
So I, male 29, am having an argument with my girlfriend, female 25, because she received a naked selfie in front of a mirror from her fresh friend she's playing squash with. Don't know what that is. A little bit of context. When I met my girlfriend, she recently broke up with her ex-boyfriend. From her description of the story with him he was extremely toxic. I met the guy a couple of times and I can assure that he's a despicable, pathetic person who wanted to control her in every single moment of every day. He was denying.
How you got that information?
Yeah. He was denying her friendships because he did not like the people she was hanging out with. He introduced her to take part in a threesome with another guy when she did not really want it. He was nonstop texting her and begging her to get back together. He vented the possibility of killing himself if she didn't agree to go back with him, and so on. Because of this, she had a very poor social life. Sorry, this is really worded like English was not their first language.
Keep going.
She recently made a friendship with a group of people, 4 females, 2 males. We met at a bar when we were together. They're okay guys, well-mannered, funny, and so on. One of the 2 men are really funny, and my girlfriend gets along with him pretty well, and they started playing squash together recently. And they started hanging out with the whole group, even without me. I'm okay with this. There's no happy relationship if there's no trust. I started smelling something, not that they did something or that she cheated on me, when this guy started making some weird jokes. She was showing me her DMs with him without me asking, thinking it was funny about some double cardio. After the squash session, when he started appearing out of nowhere, when she was outside with him or inviting her out for dinner or lunch, she never accepted. One evening, this guy reached his group of friends when my girlfriend was with him, and she told me that he sniffed her jacket multiple times after he proposed to her to hold the jacket for her. I was telling her that this guy was not okay and he was low-key hitting on her or sensing the waters.
That's not low-key.
Not at all. Not at all low-key.
That's not low-key.
No. After some thinking, skip the paragraph. The other evening, when we were going to sleep, she received a message from him. It was a picture. She told me, "Oh, look, M sent me a picture." We're just calling this guy M now. We opened it, and it was a naked selfie in the dark in front of a mirror. I was speechless because the picture was mostly because of the fact, not because of the picture, but mostly because of the fact that she was not, and she still is not, considering the fact that this is something not acceptable. After some thinking, I told her that he trespassed the line and she has to cut off contact with him. I cannot stand her going to squash or other events with this person. She's upset because she's seeing herself again being neglected a friendship from her boyfriend, like before with her ex. But for me, is out of mind. But this for me is out of mind. I'd be more than happy if she could find some good friend. I explained to her my reasons why this guy doesn't want to be her friend, or at least only a friend. I truly believe that she was looking only for a friendship with this guy, but he overstepped the line, and I'm having doubts about myself being strict on the cut every contact. As per, I do not want her to stay with me because I love her, but because she should love me and want me. I know that I cannot force decisions on her. She told me that she will talk with this guy and tell him that this is completely out of place and does not need to happen anymore. But to me, this is not enough. I cannot stand the idea of her meeting only in a friendly way with this guy after what happened. And that's the end.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, okay? First of all, squash is a racket sport where 2 or 4 players hit a rubber ball against the walls of a court. So it's kind of like wall ball with a racket.
Oh,
okay?
racquetball. I believe there's something like that.
Something like that. Let me tell you something. He's trying to squash them titties.
Yes, he's trying to squash that ass.
He's trying to squash her in a bed alone.
And it's
no pants dancing.
This just brings me back to whenever like guys always say that they know when a guy's trying to hit on your girl. That's just fucking obvious.
Dude, it's the same with both. Girls know the subtle signs of a girl being into someone. Men know about men being in people. Everybody in between, I don't know, figure your shit out. I don't know. That sounded stupid, disrespectful. We're just going to keep it pushing. Let me tell you something. Ladies and boys, girls, and everybody in between, okay? If you have a partner and they're being hit on in this way, there's a very simple answer, okay? You walk up to the guy or the girl or there's someone in between. You don't fight. Fighting is for fucking losers, okay?
Yeah.
You look at him and say, knock it off. I know what's going on. If it continues to happen, I promise you, this relationship is going to end. I know what you're trying to do. Cut it out. Man to man, woman to woman, non-binary to non-binary, whatever you want to do, knock it off. I'm done. It's over. You're not doing that. You can be friends, right? And some guys might hop down my throat, but I'm like, you can be friends. You can hang out in groups, whatever. I don't give a shit. But naked pictures, double entendre jokes, hanging out by yourselves, asking her on dates, that's over, dog. That's over.
It also begs the question to me as for whether she truly is faithful to this man, because that's a straight up nude. And you're
listen, jokes are one thing. If it's like, oh, he's just being funny, right?
Yeah.
He's a joking kind of person. But asking to dinner, sending nudes, like, I don't understand, especially as a woman, and like, women get nudes all the fucking time on social media, all the fucking time, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they're like stupid active on there all the time. You know what that means. Like, did she think he was just being a goofy little guy? Oh, look, he's a goofy little, he sent me his cock.
Yeah, he's just being a silly little goofy little guy. No.
Listen, in this situation, and let's just speak to a guy and girl relationship, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And in this guy and girl relationship, you can take it and put whatever relationship you want to put it. For the women, that behavior is not acceptable from a friend at all.
Nope.
Okay? I'm a little more lenient with my lady when it comes to like women, because she enjoys seeing naked women. All right?
Who doesn't?
I'm a little more lenient. Okay? Maybe because I'm hoping for a little little two-piece, all right? Little two-piece with the mashed potatoes, all right?
You got that.
But no, from a guy, if that shit ever happened, especially if like we were friends with someone and that ever happened, it's over with that friend. She does not put up with that shit.
I will tell you right now, if it was my girlfriend and I saw that shit happen, like you said, I may not want to fight immediately. It depends on how bad the situation is. But also, like, you're not sending that shit to my girl. Like,
the best piece of advice I can give you, if you don't want to seem like a controlling asshole, if you don't want to seem like this or that, next time y'all hang out in a group, you pull him to the side, cut the shit. It's over.
Yeah.
In the most, I'm not saying put on like a Batman voice. Like, don't you mess with her. You fucking, no, just like look him dead in the face. Cut it.
Like,
that's not happening. That's over.
Yeah, it's done. That right there, you can be friends. Per Jackie's view, you can be friends.
You can be distant friends, but if I see you in her DMs again, it's over.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna share screenshots of your tiny little fucking baby dick to that friend group. All right.
Yeah. Like I get. She has like what seems to be a trauma response to the like cut all contact, but at some point you just have to fucking like. I'm not being controlling. I'm not being dismissive of your feelings, but this fucking guy, like, he's not only trying to be friends, and you know that. You have to know that.
With that, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but with that, you need to get over that. There's going to be a certain point where that's not a crutch you can lean on when I seem like I'm being a bit of an asshole of, well, I was in a bad relationship. I get it. Trauma. You're in a new relationship. Sometimes you see it. I get it. Experiences. I get it. I still have experiences from a prior toxic relationship that carried with me for a long time, and maybe even subconsciously right now. But I don't lean on it as a fucking crutch when my partner has a problem.
A genuine concern. Because that sounds like, to me, a genuine concern. Like your best friends or your guy friend sending you dick pics. No, there's no mental gymnastics around that. Can't
absolutely. Well, let us know what you thought. Let us know what you thought about the entire podcast. Comments of the YouTube video, comments of the TikTok, whatever you want to do. And also make sure you like, rate, and share the show. Especially rating, especially sharing. See, what's an example of a 5-star rating these people can leave?
think I generally like the advice these guys give. We'll give them 5 stars.
Yeah, they told me to beat up one of my friends and then start a revolution.
Yep. Absolutely.
But also share the show, whether that's clicking the crooked arrow, sharing to whatever platform you want to share to, or word of mouth. Word of mouth is very, very important. If your buddy comes up and he says, hey, man, I've been thinking about my dogs recently, and I just want to hear some story about some good dogs, some bad dogs, some sad dogs, some sick dogs. Where can I go? Z, where do they go?
Well, you can tell your friend, buddy, old pal to head on over to the boys Jackie and Z, as well as free shout out to that Pitbull channel that I already forgot the name of. And you can listen to them talk about some fun dog stories and, about their experiences with their pets.
Absolutely. This was the homies Jackie and Z.
That's me.
And we'll see y'all next Monday.
Peace out.